Buenos dias, Gunners Profiles. Back at it? You already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yeah, we over here with the shit. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a mother. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking smack at it. Bye-ya, bitch. Bye-ya, bitch. Bye. Orderly. Loud culture. Stand up, right? Gotta rock the best. Saskia, designer, everything. Saho, stand up. First and foremost, what I wanted to say right here is you guys already know what it is, man. It's real life, real talk, Gunners Profiles. Today, we about to get it in, palo, right? And what it isn't is added preservatives. No bullshit, no drama, homes. Save that shit for your little crumbly ass, mumbly ass channel. Saskia, I'm gonna hate and expose you. Verga, right? You like it anyways like that. Anyways, what we're talking about here today is a real life story. Something that really happened, truly happened, and it's actual and factual, and it's out my city. The hometown, created by the dope sound. Merced, 209, stand up. You know what it is, right? Back in the days, I had just got out of CYA. You know, I was 18 years old, mobbing. The Mac and the mobilization was real, indubitably, right? I was out there thinking I was just some high fucking profile, gang of status ass gang member. And really, I was a Rudy Poop. I was a nothing. I was someone who had been in the California Youth Authority, a YA baby through and through. So I thought I was that one, right? So I was out there wreaking havoc in the town. I was out there making moves, making power moves, wearing some Bob Barker shower shoes, right? I wasn't really doing too much. I didn't have too much feria. I was trying to get a holiday. I was just doing what anyone else would do that just got out. So I get a whole lot of nothing. But I was out there and I was wiggling. Now, at the time that I got out in the late 90s, the wiggle was very real. Gangbanging was at its height. There was a lot of red on red going on in Merced, California, meaning Norteño versus Norteño. A lot of Crip on blood, blood on Crip, Crip and Norteño. I mean, everybody was going at it. Everybody had a bone to pick. Everyone had pleito. There was problems, right? Oh, Simon, there was problems, right? And everybody was about to handle their shit because we were all young and a little funky, just a little spunky, right? We were going to handle our business. But at the same time, we were trying to elude the officers and stay the fuck about the way. So it was a rough time. It was late 90s. You all know how the 90s were. We've spoken on it on so many different channels. It was gang related, right? But at the same time, man, we were starting to become men, my era. So it was like a change. You know, so do we gangbang? Do we come in? What do we do? You know what I mean? Nah, we're men that gangbang. And that's what it was, right? So this story is based on facts, right? I had a Theo that lived in the town. And this is a Theo that I used to always go to his pad. It was my go-to. I knew I could go over there and get anything I needed. Illegally or not illegally, allegedly, right? I would go over there and post up because it was a spot. Now, he was a veterano, you know what I mean, that had moved from Newark, California into Merced just for a little while. He was just getting his wiggle on, and he was doing his thing. So it was a spot that I could go, and a lot of my homeboys, they admired this guy like, hey, he's an OG, bro. He had a big old fucking whip. You see his whip? Which one? The one in the driveway or the one right here? No, the one right here. That's the clean one, though. It's a hoopty. That's the con un pinche Nova. You know what I mean? Riding on 13. He gets it clean, though. But, you know what I mean? At the same time. So he was well respected. You know, my Theo no longer is with us at this time, but he was a very well respected individual. So I used to hang out at his spot. Now, he always had homeboys that would get out of the pinta. You got to understand, my Theo was affiliated at one of the highest levels, right? So I never really got into his business, and he never told me too much of his business. But at the same time, I'm not a baboso, so I know exactly what time it is and what's going down, right? So I would see all his homeboys come, sit on his porch, get out, barbecue. And it was different levels to his homeboys, right? Some homeboys would get out and be like, that's the homeboy Jaime right there. Orale, what's up, Jaime? It was so old, right? All crazy and shit. Come on, don't get crazy with me. Say it with your chest, right? He would say whatever he said, and that was that. And then there was different levels. There was homeboys that come out. He'd be like, hey, that's the homeboy. I can't tell you his name, but treat him with respect, eh? You know what I mean? Straight up, you know, and that's just how it is in the hood. There's certain vatos that got that coming, and certain vatos like, everything. You know what I mean? He'll ride off on his beach cruiser. Orale, I got gate money, right? And he's mobbing, deboing. But this day there was a vato who was one of the somebodies, right? So I don't know his name. And he pulled up, man. I guess he had just got out. He was wearing some sweats. He's got a nice little sweater on, his little brown bag with his fucking pictures, photo albums, or whatever the case may be. And I wasn't dumb enough to know exactly what was going on. He was there to pick a little something up because he wasn't trying to get high on his own supply, allegedly, right? So he's posted up. I remember we were kicking back. There was a little carne asada popping. I was at my Theo's house. There was a few young homeboys right there with me. So it was all good in the hood. We like to be around these OG veteranos because we like to hear their prison stories. Just like you guys right here on YouTube like to hear the prison stories. I myself like to hear the prison stories, right? So I'd be right there, orale. Hey, sos que no fulsome, huh? Remember when I did a pegata? I had that bent over. I was just hitting him. I was hitting him. Wait, hold on now. What do you mean you had him bent over and you was hitting him? Not like that. I have to get your head out of the gutter. Says, we don't get down like that. Orale, Holmes, that's when I knew we did not get down like that, right? I was getting shut up at the same time. But anyways, this guy's telling the story. He was a cool individual. He was from San Jose. He had just got out, and him and my fucking Theo had did a lot of tiempo together in Tracy and San Quentin. They were cellies, they were camaradas, they were partners, taitas. So he was like, yeah, that's a good friend of mine, Holmes. This is a good righteous one, been down 15 to 20 years, right? So it was cool. And I remember he asked me, I had a little carro out there. I thought I was doing big things. So that's a fucking beat up ass, from the feet up ass, little Pontiac, Holmes, 6,000 LE. I thought I was doing big things, right? A little beat in the back, I had 210s. Vivo de tres animales. I was slapping, right? He said, hey, give me a ride, homie. I need to give me a little kawama. So that's a 40 for those of you that don't speak Spanish. I said, jump in, right? So I gave the vato a ride. I thought I was doing big things. Sometimes I'm a little youngster, little Mongolian on Tonpolian, and I'm mobbing. And I got this veterano with the whip from here to his nipples, right? And he just get put on los Tucanes de Tijuana, right? So bam, we're bumping. I take him right there to the local El Tabrab market in Merced. Those that know, hood shit, right? So I take him, he goes in, gets his little 40, he's talking to a little business, he sees a little, he's in it for the Arby's too. Everybody is. And he comes out. And so we're partying all night. He ends up spending the night at my Theo's. I jam home. I come back the next day and he's there posted up like a thumbtack, right? I'm like, damn, ever going to go home? So, yeah, or is he going to move in? This shit, right? They were cellies again, I guess, right? But they're having a good time, and it's my Theo's pet homes. I'm not going to disrespect it or this vato, because they'll probably have me whacked or put on a BNL list, right? So everything was good in the hood. So this vato actually takes off walking. And I told my Theo, hey, where's he going? He said, oh, he's going to go to the tienda. Now, where my Theo lived, I'm not going to tell you the exact location. It was on the west side of Merced. Let's just say that in the hood, right? So this vato takes off walking. He's going to go to the store. The local store was called Buy Rights. For those of you that don't know what Buy Rights is, no longer there. It's now a Chevron gas station. But it's a very well-known store. It's like a landmark in Merced, Holmes. It was right there, right off 12th Decay at the corners. Like, boom, 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 boom. You're right there at Buy Rights going un pinche fucking bomb-ass hot link. That's what they used to have there. We used to go to Buy Rights for the fucking 40s and the hot links back in the days, right? It was the hood store. It's actually located in the Merced Ghetto Boy neighborhood now. That's their spot, right? That's a landmark for them, as well as Mac Park. Those of you that know who GB the rapper is, that's his little hood, right? So anyways, the vato takes off walking to Buy Rights. At this time, the store was still popping. But it was a dangerous area. It was a dangerous area because at this time, you had a lot of different gangs that surrounded that location, that Mac Park area. Merced Ghetto Boys were not yet established or started. They started around a year later, but there still was a lot of norteños. You would have Southsiders dip through every once in a while on some hunting shit, right? And of course, you had gangs like the Merced Original Bloods, Merced Gangster Crips, as well as an old school gang. Look at the wind's blowing. I'm going to say this one. Vatos from Merced are like, damn, I forgot about that shit. The McNamara Lynch mob, right? So these were all little hoods. I had a lot of homeboys from my water that lived in the surrounding area. We used to have that block sewed up. In fact, right now, if you still walk through Mac Park, there's crack cocaine somewhere laying. I promise, right? That's just how it was. It was very hood orientated, very hood original shit. So the vato takes off walk. I'm like, hey, be careful, right? He's like, hey, I'm from San, fuck this, right? What are they? Okay, right now. The Duso Nina, you about to find out. And he was, right? So what happens is, and how the story goes, is this vato took off mobbing. Now, I say it's his first day out, but it was actually his second day. It was a day and a half. It was still within the first 24, right? So I was getting, not first 48. We ain't telling, right? So the vato took off walking. And I told my Theo, hey, I could have given him a ride, Holmes. You know what I mean? He was like, nah, Charlie, he don't want to ask nobody for anything. So he borrowed 100 and just mobbed to the store. How's that shit work, right? Anyway, so he mobs to the store, and we're posted right there waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. The vato never comes back. My Theo says, hey, I think the homie fucking just dipped. Now, this is way pre-cell phone. This is like, hey, you had to have feria to have a cell phone. You had the flip phone, and it cost like $400 on the bill, right? You remember the type of shit back in the days where it's like, hey, call me real quick. And you hang up. They call you so you don't get charged. It was that type of shit going on, right? Motherfuckers' phones disconnected in the house. You could call in, but they can't call out. That type of shit, right? So we're waiting on him like, okay, I can see clearly now. And the eagle never lands, right? So we jump in the whip. We jump in my fucking beat up 6,000 LA, and we go looking for him. We can't find him, right? But what we do find out, Buy Rights is mysterious. Right around the corner from Buy Rights, there's a U-Haul and there's an alley. And, I don't want to speak on it too much, but let's just say there was yellow tape, and there was a lot of fucking Merced police officers. And what had happened was, and I don't know who did it. I don't care who did it, man. They ended up allegedly catching the individual who did do it. He was a paisa. But I will tell you this, man. The vato got booked, man, and got for his hundo, right? And it was a very unfortunate situation because this was a good dude, man. He just did like 15, 20 years. You know, he was just a little black guy like this kid. You know, I know. You know, he was just trying to get his groove on and his move on like the Isley brothers. But at the same time, Holmes, he got into some pleito. Now, we never got the full story on what exactly happened. But from different people that were speaking, because the streets talk, you see. The streets have always talked. They talk too much sometimes, right? Even more than me, right? And I don't even say shit, but I get blamed for it. You know what I mean? Blame it on the gun. Blame it on the Jews. They got you getting loose. Orale, right? So anyways, I guess word is that he was walking through this alley. He took a detour, Holmes, and he ran into some paisa. He jammed the paisa up. The paisa jammed him up. Beep it a boop, so on and so forth, man. And the paisa literally pulled out a fucking a filero and got to fucking, you know what I mean? I'm going to carve him up real nice. Got to doing his thing. The wackalization was real. And it was ugly. It was a bloody situation. I seen, I said, damn, that was a fucking crumbled like that, right? And my Theo was, he was sad, you know, but he's chalked it up to the game. You know, my Theo shed no tears. That's one thing I can say about him is he never showed no tears. He had a tattooed teardrop right here. That's about as far as he was going to get. So I was getting some crying, inside, right? And I said, damn, what happened, bro? So, of course, we got off. The placas are like, get back. Is it you? No. Hell no, officer, right? I'm out of here. Dead end. And I'm dipping, right? But yeah, the vato got hit on some hood shit because he was lacking in the wrong neighborhood. Or he was oppressing people in the wrong neighborhood. Now, that's a word to the wise, Holmes, and a tale that I tell because I tell you this. Sometimes you think, man, it's all good in a different city or a different neighborhood. And like, you might come from a bigger city, a harder barrio where it's just ghetto. I mean, where you look around and fucking shit's on fire and shit's crumbling. You're like, now this is the ghetto, right? This is the barrio. And then you go to another place, you hear birds chirping. Right? And you don't see nothing, Holmes. But what's lurking underneath them motherfucking rocks, them culebras are slithering, right? Believe me, the snakes are slimy and they're grimy in all parts of California, Holmes. And you think what's a walk in the park, Holmes, is really a mugging in the park, right? And so that's why you always got to be aware and keep your awareness up and be on point. When you go into other towns or other cities, you don't disrespect anyone, Holmes. You carry yourself with respect and professionalism and class. But I say it all the time, right? And you keep your shit on swivel, right? Keep your shit on bobblehead. Because it's going to go down. And for this guy, unfortunately, it did go down. And I remember, man, when we got back to my fucking Theo's pad, that brown bag was still there. And I looked in his photo album, man. He had grandchildren. He had children. He had a son that was older, you know what I mean, that had graduated from the university over there in San Francisco. He was doing his thing. He had a lot of familia to look forward to. But instead, he took a detour from fucking the Pinta off the bus to an old fucking Sully's house to get fucking, you know what I mean, edited out. You know, and it happened time and time again. Other vatos would pull up, and I never got familiar with them. I would see them. I'd be like, hey, what's up, Holmes? They'd be like, hey, your little sobrino thinks he's bad and shit. He said, nah, you know what I mean? This is why. And then my Theo would tell him the story on how I was cool with the dude who got whacked, right? And it happened. It happened in Merced, and time moved on. It was just another unfortunate body in the alley that got caught up, right? Of course, they did give the paisa some time, Holmes. I didn't keep up with the case. I wasn't into that, too. But I was too busy trying to knock hoes. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it real. You know what I mean? I was striving for in my own shit. But it fucking did happen, right? And this is a story I tell that happens everywhere. Every city, every town, every day. You know, if you go to another city and you think you're big or bad, Holmes, or you think you're that one, or you can't be touched, or you think that this city is beneath you, Holmes, that this ain't the one. Because I'm telling you, I was telling him, hey, where you going? I'll give you a ride. He was like, shit, I got this shit, Holmes. Watch how I walk. He was like, Crucito, searching for my baby. You know what I mean? Oh, did Frankie, let me borrow the GTO. He was mobbing without a care in the world and never mobbed back. The mobilization wasn't as real as it was when he got there, right? And where he went, that is now a very dangerous area, allegedly, right? You know, times have changed, but even back then, it still was an area where you had to be alert because there was a little bit of everything. See, Merced is built like that, Holmes. We're not built where like, oh, you know, you're going over here to the west side, it's nothing but Mexicanos, Charlie, Holmes. There's Africano brothers, you know what I mean? Respects, Holmes. There's sprinkle them whites in. You never know, man. Them woods are crazy. Wherever there's meth, there's death, right? Straight up. Whites be in that motherfucker, right? And then, of course, you got your Asian partners, man, the Uso, whoever you got. Mexicanos are the most dominant. There's more Mexicanos than anything, Chicanos. But at the same time, it's a paisas, a little bit of everybody, sprinkle them in, right? And that can cause chaos, because if you run into the wrong individual, hey, every motherfucker in Merced got a little bit of thug in them. We might fight amongst each other, but I'll promise you this. We'll book you 10 times if you get us pissed to live and die Merced, right? It's just different, okay? Ain't really too much shit to do. There ain't no partying going on. The clubs, they're all fucked up, right? So the Hacienda ain't going down anymore, and Casita shut down, and or what was it called? Cascada is shut down, and Maloney's, I done kicked the motherfucker through a window over there back in the day, right? So it's pretty much played out. The club scene, you got to go to Modesto or Fresno, and you already know Merced ain't trying to go over there to Fresno. Fuck that. They're not trying to get bit by a perro. And you go to Motown homes, and the Modesto boys, man, they be on their shit. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. But anyways, so yeah, you know, it's just, it's a true story. It's facts. The guy did get out, and within 24 hours, man, was horrifically murdered, was stabbed to death because he was lacking in the wrong part of town, first and foremost, and the way he was carrying himself. Now, it wasn't a gang-related issue. I think it was more of a fucking just man-to-man, you know what I mean? Heads up till you're fed up. Now, that's hard. But at the end of the day, man, one guy walked away, one guy didn't. And that's how life is, you know? If you think you're going to have pleito with people, if you think it's always going to be that head-up fade and two people are going to walk away like back in the 80s, homes, Charlie Holmes, these were the streets, homie. Motherfuckers got down. They really did their thing, right? And that was it. You know, so it was sad, and I remember we went back to my tíos, and he was like, pour out a little liquor for the homie. Go give me another 40, because fuck, I just wasted the whole one, right? And that was it. The next day, 2-3 days later, I never, you know, to this day, I don't even know the vato's name, man. What they call him, I forgot. It's been so long. But he was a good individual. You know, I conversated with him for a few hours. He gave me a lot of clecha and a lot of game I'll never forget. You know, he told me, he was like, hey, if you ever get incarcerated, little homie, and I hope you don't, you know what I mean? Carry yourself with class. And that's why I've always said that. I got that from that guy right there. You know, that's why he popped into my mind the other day. I was talking to Dubs, Holmes, and I said, we gotta carry ourselves with class, Holmes. We're getting accused of all this racism and prejudice and this and that. We know we're nothing like that, Holmes. We know we got a lot of love for the brothers, man. You know, a whole lot of love, man. A lot of people say, and this is a little off topic, but fuck it, you know what I mean? 2 tears in a bucket. I'm right here in front of the camera. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna speak my mind on power, right? A lot of people have been saying lately, you know, gun, you're fake, you're fraudulent, you're this, you're that, you're a racist, you got things, you know, you always diminish the black brothers, you know what I mean, what they had going on in prison. And I said, what? Shit, I haven't even told you about Black Sunday yet. Shit, Crips got weird, right? And people unfortunately think, man, that I'm biased or I think some type of way or I show more love to someone more than the other. And I'm not here for that, man. I'm here as a human, as a person, right? To show love to my people and to all people, man. And that's just what it is. If you hate me for being proud, well, then Spence on La Tira, Holmes, I guess I'm a hated motherfucker then, right? Blame it on the gun. But at the same time, I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for what I believe in. And that's the unity of all people, you know, whether you like it or not. Times are changing, that's it, right? Times are definitely changing. And that's just what it is. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the story. It was a true story, man. Like I said, the vato was from Sanjo, man. He got caught lacking and the smacking got real, you know? Shit, Merced ain't no punk. Them paisas, they be like, vivo de tres animales. And they're an animal. 3 animals in one. You know what it is. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, man, it's all about struggling and striving for your familia. And if you go to another city, another town, check in, right? That's what Whack 100 says, right? You need to check in with me because see the way that it works is we go here, there, not here, but you know what I mean? So I was scared. Can we go to Wiener Schnitzel? Well, where's that at? Where's that located at? No, we can't go to Wiener Schnitzel, right? But what we can do is we can go to Hot Dog on a Stick. Nah, fuck you and fuck that, right? If check in if you want to, Holmes, out of respect. Me, myself, Holmes, I'm just going to get in and get out and wiggle and treat everybody with respect so that way I don't get caught lacking and I don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. If you like this, please hit that like and subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up one time. That helps me out a lot. If not, thumbs down. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for all those that oppose, for all those that want to expose, for all those that think and are mad at me just because I'm me and you're not. Spence on La Tira, Holmes. No disrespect. I hope you win. I know I am. Bang, bang. This is the gun.